Yeah.
What a tragedy that was.
Yeah, it was a tragedy. I got called from a local ABC News station to go on when he was shot, and he was still alive when I went on. I said I might have even sent you a link to it, but
Yes.
what I said was it's a tragedy, no matter his point of view, no matter if you're liberal or conservative or some purple mix of the two, that you should allow all points of view to be out there. And just because he believed in the Constitution, was a conservative voice, very conservative voice, no question about it, that supported gun ownership and was against abortion and all of that. That's his right to have that point of view. And under the First Amendment, which and he constitutional debate based on the Constitution itself, and it's hard to argue against that in this time when people aren't even looking at the Constitution and realizing what's in it. So you don't attack the person, you attack a policy. You don't do ad hominem, you know, character assassinations followed by a real assassination. You do a debate over the policies and you dissect the policies, not the person. He was dissected that day by a bullet. That should never happen again. Didn't matter if he supported gun ownership or what have you. Some people, you know, said it was ironic that he supported gun ownership and that's what got him killed. That's the wrong way to think about it. The right way to think about it is allow everybody to say what they want as long as it doesn't encourage political violence. And he
Yeah,
did
no,
not
no doubt.
he did not encourage political violence, but he died as a result of it.
Yeah, he's you know, as a human being, he's probably one of the most pure people that you can meet in terms of he really was who he was. There wasn't the Charlie Kirk that was on campus and then the Charlie Kirk that was, behind the curtain per se.
Yeah.
That's the one thing a lot of people say, he was authentic to who he portrayed himself to be. I believe if I'm right, I believe his wife and one of his daughters were there, and that was, man, I could only imagine. Right when not long after it happened, I pulled it up on CNN and my wife was watching it too, and it was tragic. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a guy who generally, has very much emotion, but it brought a couple tears in my eye. I'm sitting there,
Mhm.
I'm like, man, is probably the first time where a political, maybe outside of like 9/11, or a political event like that, if you want to
Mhm.
call it, assassination really, like, I guess it got to me because it was so raw. It wasn't like, okay, hey, this was like, you see the guy. It was almost to me like in terms of like the raw emotion of it
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
how it was
Well
with JFK, because you've
well,
seen it.
it's a human thing. You think about their family, you think about his wife, his kids no longer going to have him in the house, no longer being able to raise their family, and that to me is a tragedy no matter what your point of view is, no matter where you come from, no matter if you're left or right. That's if you have a sense of humanity, one piece of DNA within you that is a sense of humanity, you should feel for someone's family if something like that happens to the head of the family. And it was a tragedy, and it was also a warning. It was a warning that, if I may say, that the middle ground is where you should be, not on the extremes, because the extremes lead to this kind of behavior.